Hey sixth graders, it's me, Miss Reba. I am in your huddle classes today because I wanted to show you how the semester exams and how your grade on those exams can affect your grade. And so today I have 3 examples that I'm going to show you. I have Kesha, and I have Fergie, and I have Nellie. And they all, as you will see, start out in very different places as far as where their grade is before semester exams. And so we just wanted to show you how much that grade on that semester exam can affect your final grade. So, first I'm going to teach you the system that we use. We use the system, and I put it in red here. It says times 2 times 2 times 2 times 1. That means that your grade from your first 6 weeks, second 6 weeks, and third 6 weeks, each of those counts times 2. And then your semester exam counts times 1. What that means is that your semester grade is really 1/7. It weights 1/7 of your final grade. So I'm going to show you as I go through this what your final grade would end up being. So our first person up is Kesha, and these are Kesha's math grades. She had a 70 in the first 6 weeks, an 80 in the second 6 weeks, and a 60 in the third 6 weeks. So I'm going to show you what her grade would be with 100, what it would be with a 75, and what it would be if her semester exam grade was a 50. So when we go ahead and add up her totals here, if I do times 2 on all these, the total over here ends up being 420. Now, let's say she got 100. That would make it 520, her total points. And now we divide that by 7 because there's 7 parts. So when we divide that by 7, her average ends up being a 75. So as you can see, Kesha's grades were about passing. That was about her average. And by getting 100, she brought her grade up 5 points from the average that it was. Now, let's say she got a 75. Her average would be a 71. So it still brings it up from that 70 or so average that she had. But it's so close to the line that would mean that second semester she has to really kick it up a notch. And then the last one here is if she got a 50. If she got a 50, it would drop her grade below passing, and now she would have a 67. So as you can see, if you are right on the line of passing in a class, you cannot just take this semester exam off and say, oh, it's fine, it'll be okay, because if you tank that test, there is a chance that you fall below passing. And what that means is that now in the second semester, you're going to have to make up for those points in order to pass on the year. So let's go ahead and look at Fergie next. Fergie's science grade is what we are looking at here, and you can see she got a 90 in the first 6 weeks, a 95 in the second 6 weeks, and then 100 in the third 6 weeks. So Fergie is getting an A in science right now. So let's see when we add her totals up. I'm going to change her color here. Her totals up for this class, we get a total of 570 points once we do our times 2 on each of those. So now if she gets 100, we have 670, and we divide that into 7 pieces, and she will have a 96. So she still keeps that A. It bumps it up a little bit from what her average would have been, and it's a solid 96. Now, if Fergie has her A and she gets a 75 on the semester exam, she still is going to have an A. She's going to keep a 92. So, didn't do fabulous on the semester exam, but you know what? She worked hard all semester to give herself a little cushion so she didn't have to be so stressed out for the semester exam. So she was in a really good spot, and so even though she got a 75, her grade is still going to be an A because she worked her butt off all semester. So now our last one here is if she gets a 50, her grade would drop below an A, but it's still a pretty good grade. She's going to have an 88. So below an A, but not the end of the world, because once again, she worked really hard all semester. So there really wasn't a reason for her to stress out. She just needed to take what she knew all year and apply it to the semester exam. So now our last person here that we're going to look at is Nellie. Now we're looking at Nellie's history grade. So you'll see, looking at Nellie's history grades, that he has not yet passed it from the first 6 weeks, second or third. He's gotten a 60 all three. So obviously he's not passing as of right now, but we're going to see what these grades would do. So let's do our math on these three. If we do times 2 on all of those, we have 360 points so far. If we add 100, we have 460 points, and then we divide it among the 7, and he would bump his grade up to a 66. Now, some of you might say, what? I can get a perfect score on my semester exam, and I still can't bring it up to passing. But the important thing is, if you are failing a class, the closer you bring it to passing, even if it's not possible to pass, the better off you are second semester, because you have to make up those missing points somewhere. And if you have a 60 going into second semester, then you're going to have to really rock it second semester to even pass on the year. But right now, Nellie, by getting an awesome grade on the semester exam, he got so close to passing that now it won't be super hard second semester to make sure that he passes that class. So now let's look at a 75. If we were to add 75 points instead of 100, his average would be a 62. Getting further away from that 70 passing, so he's making his life a little bit harder second semester. And then if he were to get a 50, his grade would actually drop below a 60, and he's going to be down in the 50s with a 58. Very, very hard to recover from these grades in second semester if you don't keep it above passing. It's very hard. So you want to make sure that you are as close as you can to a 70 if for some reason you are below a 70 right now. So I hope that seeing these three students has kind of helped you see, okay, you know, if I'm one of those kids who's on the line, this is really important. If I'm a student who has worked hard all semester, it's still important, but I don't need to be so stressed out that I lose sleep over this. I just need to study hard and I will be just fine. And then if you are a student who is not passing a class right now, you can really help yourself out going into second semester by giving yourself some extra points where it might be too hard to come back if you don't work hard on the semester exam. And then you're looking at summer school or repeating 6th grade, and we definitely do not want to have to do that. So I hope this has helped you guys. If you have any questions, I'm sure your huddle teachers or your math teachers, Mr. Gaines or I, would be able to answer them. So don't stress, study hard, work hard, and it will all pay off. Bye, 6th graders.